Story time. Yes, this looks like a peculiar situation because I'm in my car and it's totally dark outside, so you can't actually see shit, and that's just how it is. So, normally I'd be at work right now, but I'm not, and it's time to spill the tea on these motherfuckers, okay? So, ever since my brother died a couple weeks ago, my manager has been fucking with me, just to be fucking with me, basically. She called me in one day and told me I was fired before I even got there, and I asked her what she was talking about, and she was like, "You have a 12-hour shift and you're not here yet." I said, "Well, you changed the schedule without notifying anybody, so I'm not, and I should be on bereavement, but I'm not, and I'll be there." So I did a video about that one. You guys saw that one. Since then, she's been petty as fuck, micromanaging, changing the schedule, making it unmanageable, and I went from, like I said, two spectral kids that are homeschooled. I can't do daytime, period. So I do third shift, and I literally work the same schedule every time I'm asked to. From Wednesday through Tuesday, if that's what it takes. Sometimes it's 8 to 8. I can handle one 12-hour shift, but I never signed up for them. We're supposed to have enough other workers that that's not supposed to happen. Regardless of her not being able to manage to keep anybody at this job, the real truth is they make money off of firing people. This is such a pyramid scheme that this security company hires people and then charges them $150 for their uniforms and $200 for their guard certification. It costs $40. They're making $350 a whack off these workers. They only get paid every 2 weeks. If somebody quits before their first paycheck, then they got 2 weeks out of them for free. If somebody works, say, the first 2 weeks, they take the 150 out, and then the next 2 weeks, they take another 150 out, and then the last one, they take the last 50 out. So, literally, within a month and a half, they start trying to fire people. They have extraordinary turnover rate, and it's not coincidental. At this point, it's not coincidental. You can see the hole in the fucking story, right? So, I've been there long enough that they didn't get their pay out of me. I had my guard card when I started, so they didn't get that $200 out of me. Right after getting my uniform money, they started having problems with me for no reason. From, "Oh, you left the gate up too long," to, "You didn't open the gate fast enough," to, you're on your phone. I work third shift, no one's coming through there, I have spectral children. Yes, I'm on my phone. Also, there are phones in these shacks that are just to call each other back and forth, but they have literally YouTube on them for the guards to sit there and watch movies. So, every time I work somewhere, there's a new fucking rule for me. If you've experienced that kind of jealousy, targeting, fucking gang stalking, my heart goes out to you. Because she couldn't get me on anything real, she continued with her petty acidness until they sent in their heavy hitter. A guy who self-admittedly is an ex-felon and shouldn't even have been able to get the guard certification in the first place. Now, I only worked with this guy 2 times. The first time I worked with him, he just decided he liked me and that he had the authority to change his schedule around to make it to where he can be beside me. Told me this himself on the second time around. This guy was hitting on me all night, telling me about his backstory, his ex-wife, his kids, all that. It almost seemed normal, but it wasn't. He just kept insisting on talking about his dating life, even though I'm married with kids, said it, and tried to drop the conversation altogether. I'm not interested in new friends, and I damn sure don't want to date, and I don't have any friends to hook him up with. So even with redirecting and brushing it off, because I'm like, oh well, it's nothing will come of it. By the second time I work with him, this asshole has literally told me that he switched a different guy from work the day before just so he could work the same shift as me. Used his position to put me in the same booth as him instead of letting me work on my normal side. I told him I was uncomfortable. I told a coworker I was uncomfortable. By the first bathroom break, I called my other coworker and asked him to switch me so I wouldn't have to work with this guy. I was cleaning up water at one point, and he asked me if I was okay. I mentioned having a headache, and he offered me a pill. I was like, "Is it Tylenol? Is it Excedrin?" He said, "No, it just comes out of a wrapper. It dissolves on your tongue. I don't know what it's called." I was like, "No, I'm not going to take any pills from any strangers at work." I'm very uncomfortable. He continues with the talking about his dating life and, like, getting a mail order bride and some other shit, and I walk away from him. This is like 4 o'clock in the morning after trying to switch the other guard and him not letting us switch. I go outside to smoke a cigarette. He follows me outside, sits down, and just candidly says, "So have you ever cheated on your husband?" And I said no, and I got mad, and then I made the other guard switch me. I was like, "That's it, I'm going to the other side. I'm done with this." And at the end of that day, I reported it. I reported sexual harassment on the 15th. Well, on the 16th, when I told my manager herself said, "Oh, I've had experiences with him. He told me nice rag. He asked another girl out here and then stood her up on a date." So they also had their own incidents with him, but did not report it. Our head supervisor comes in and interrogates me, investigates me. This woman has the balls and the audacity to tell me that sexual harassment is a serious charge, a serious allegation, and that they would have to investigate both sides. That they talked to him first, and he said he was just so sorry. He didn't mean anything like that. He didn't even know what I was talking about. And then informed me that he's well trusted and works with a lot of women in a lot of different locations, and nobody else has ever had any complaints or said anything about him, and I'm the first one. And she went so far as to say, if it were another male co-worker, say such and such, a younger, more attractive male, would you have been upset then, or would it have been the same thing? I said, it would be the same thing. I'm married. I don't want to be hit on. I do not care about the relationship status of another single worker here. I don't know any male or female's relationship status, and I don't want to, and my business is not their business. No should be enough. My concern should be enough. So she told me that after they investigate it, it'll go to corporate, and corporate will get final say-so, and, nothing may even come of it. But to ease my mind, they will go ahead and make us on separate shifts. Like, we will only have to ever see each other maybe in passing, at best. That's still not really taking my side at all. That's still basically calling me a fucking liar and singing his praises at the same time. The stupid thing is, this company is a woman-owned and operated company, so you would think that this would be a specific type of protection that you would have versus a regular place that doesn't claim to be woman-owned and operated, right? But sometimes those females want to prove themselves so bad that they're even worse than the guys, right? And this is that kind of situation. So after reassuring me on the 16th that we won't have to cross paths anymore, cut to today, the 17th. I have to go to work again and work another 12-hour shift. I get there, and my coworker says that this guy's about to be here in a minute, and I said, why is he showing up at all? Where's the other guy who's scheduled for today? And he said, oh, he can't make it. I said, so magically the guy who's not supposed to be able to work around me is going to fill in for the guy who can't make it? No. And I had a problem with it. And I told that same boss who just didn't really give a shit, the same one who said he'd accosted her as well, told me I have to stay off my phone. That the yard dog and the other coworker complained about me being on my phone. I said, well, I'm not on my phone. I have 2 spectral children. I need to be able to be in contact with them. You're not going to micromanage me like a child where I have to sit on my hands because I can't be trusted not to be on the phone. And on top of that, I've already reported to 1 coworker and 2 supervisors that I feel unsafe. And after reassuring me I wouldn't have to work with them, it's the very same motherfucker who's on the same shift with me again. So then she makes me sign a suspension and says it's for my phone. I said, you know how this looks, right? This looks like on the 15th I reported him for sexual harassment. On the 16th you interrogate me. And on the 17th I'm the one who's fucking suspended. You're protecting the predator and silencing the victim. You are punishing me for saying anything. And you have this petty bug up your ass where you specifically just don't fucking like me. And you are trying to find any and every reason. Stop beating around the bush and just terminate me. I've already asked you several times, is that what this is about? And you keep saying no. Furthermore, I asked for days because my kids are on summer break now, and since that very moment of asking her for days, we've lost 4 coworkers who work in the daytime, but there's no opening for me. There's just 12-hour shifts for everybody. It's bullshit. It's retaliation. It's fucking gang stalking, because there's another coworker, a female, who had started shit and got reported for it and didn't like that. There was the boss who's starting shit herself over the phones. She hit a car with the guard arm and knocked it off. I mean, we're all being punished while they're doing actual illegal practices. The food industry that we work for hires undocumented workers and then hires guards on some funky-ass backwards little subcontracting so that the guards can call them and tell them when ICE is outside and they can let their illegals know that they need to go home early. We're not to interfere with government operations, but they are trying to stick our head in the slot. So, somewhere between hiring illegal undocumented workers and literally making money off of firing people, this is a pyramid scheme on a pyramid scheme. And they're not fucking slick. They're hiding behind a badge, and it's a phony badge because it's literally just a security officer. One of these days, it's all going to come tumbling down on them because people like me don't shut the fuck up whenever you try to re-victimize them over and over again. So if you literally have a boss playing God in your life or a landlord playing God in your life by changing your fucking rent and having you in horrific living conditions to where you can't afford to leave but you're also dying from being there, or a job where you're literally prey to your coworkers, you don't have to put up with this shit. These people are not God. There's always someone above their head. There's an actual cop I can report this to who will have it investigated, and then there will still be reprimand for it. This dude already divulged a bunch of information about himself, and they have too. From hiring felons, to hiring people underage for their insurance contract, to hiring people with medical conditions and then firing them for said medical conditions. There's a gentleman who has stage 4 cancer. He had it when he got hired for the job, and a few days ago they fired him for having terminal cancer because he's a liability to them. It's illegal as fuck and nobody's checking him. I'm at least going to tell on them. So, you know what? If this is happening to you and they're literally pulling the puppet strings of, well, you need your job, don't you? You need your job, don't you? No, you don't need to eat shit from anybody. You can eat the same kind of shit for the same dollar amount somewhere else. We're not slaves, we're not idiots, and we're not little puppets to be fucked with because they're having a bad day. If this is happening to you, stand your ground, be logical, don't cuss them out. You can say anything you want to as long as you don't cuss, and be truthful. Be truthful that you're being targeted. Be truthful that you're being micromanaged. Be truthful that you're the one speaking the truth, and that's why they want to get rid of you. I'll keep telling the truth, and I'll keep telling y'all, and I'll keep telling whoever will listen, these crooked motherfuckers are going down. Love you.